In socialism, human creativity is motivated by an individual's need to occupy a niche in the mechanism of society. In capitalism, human creativity is motivated by an individual's need for profit, wealth, and control over capital. In economics of fulfillment, human creativity is motivated by a desire intrinsic to our nature as evolving beings in an evolving universe, by the need to follow our passion, by the yearning to do that which brings satisfaction into our life. This is Session 6, Model, in a course titled Economics of Fulfillment, and that is an aspect of a larger view, Evolution of Consciousness Theory. In this session, we derive the guiding principle of the economics of fulfillment philosophy and develop a model of economic conduct that adheres to that principle. The assumptions of human worth, abundance, and creative expression encapsulate our understanding of ourselves and universe. They also embody all that is necessary to derive the economics of tomorrow. In our economics of fulfillment philosophy, the ability to create and produce is the outcome of who we are as individuals, of our nature as human beings, of our drive to learn and to advance to greater awareness and substance of character. We have the ability to reshape our world in almost any way we desire, and to produce material prosperity to the limits of our imagination and creative power. Human creativity, that which is at the heart of economic activity, is at the core of our economic philosophy. Wealth, as we have never before experienced it, will be the outcome. The guiding principle of the economics of fulfillment ideology is to create the social and economic conditions that provide the freedom and opportunity for every individual to evolve to his or her highest state of being, and that, by doing so, allow humanity to evolve to its highest state of being. We could devise many systems of economic practice that adhere to the guiding principle of the economics of fulfillment ideology. For the sake of example, we will develop what may be the simplest, a model that in a direct way illustrates how we can give our economic philosophy tangible form. Imagine that you are a home builder. As a home builder, what is your motivation? Under a socialistic system, it would be to meet a state or corporate quota. Under a capitalistic system, it would be to make a profit. Under economics of fulfillment, your motivation is intrinsic. Like the artist who is compelled to paint, you build homes because it is what you want to do in life. The home is a product of your artisanship. Building gives you satisfaction. You build because it is your passion. Now imagine that you and everyone else in your community maintain an account at the local economics of fulfillment bank, and that everyone's balance in their account is $0. Next, you go to the owner of the builder's supply outlet and purchase $50,000 of bricks, concrete, steel rebar, and other construction materials. So who is the owner of the builder's supply outlet? Why is she in business? What is her motivation? The owner of the builder's supply outlet does what she does because her thing in life is to run a business. She enjoys interacting with her customers and coworkers. She thrives on learning about new materials and on interacting with manufacturers to develop products that work for her customers. Her business is her passion. Through her business, she fulfills her creative needs. Back at the bank, your account is reduced by $50,000 for the construction materials you bought, and the account of the owner of the builder's supply outlet is increased by $50,000 for the construction materials she sold. Note, you run a negative balance. You are $50,000 in the hole, but you are not at an ordinary bank. For the sake of illustration, imagine a bank where every member of the economy is free to run a negative balance in his or her account. Clearly, such a bank is not in business to show a profit. It does not generate monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, and annual income statements. What, then, motivates the banker? Unlike the financial leaders of today, our banker does not run his bank to get rich off his stock option. He does what he does for the same reason you do what you do, and everyone in our economics of fulfillment economy does what he or she does. His position at the bank fulfills his creative needs. Like the owner of the builder's supply outlet, he derives satisfaction by helping others realize their creative potential. He provides the economic structure those in the economy need to immerse themselves in their creative activities, and by doing so fulfills his creative needs. He operates his bank because it is his passion. Next, imagine that you meet the local school teacher. To her, satisfaction in life comes from bringing out the best in her pupils. She loves young people and thrives on their energy and freedom of thought. Her job is to create an environment where her students can express their creative drive. She wants them to learn what they find meaningful in life and to provide them with the tools necessary to follow their dreams and to fulfill their calling. Reading, writing, mathematics, science, history, music, and critical thought. Like the others, our teacher does what she does because it is her passion. Our teacher fulfills her creative needs through the growth of her students, but she couldn't lay a brick or mix a batch of mortar if her life depended on it. So, you agree to sell her the home you are building for $100,000. How did you come up with this price? It was not based on the market. You had no need to see what other homes in the neighborhood were selling for. There are no forces of supply and demand to bid your price up or down. You had no cost of capital, or more precisely, no one charged you for the opportunity to build a house and to contribute to the economy. You based your price on the $50,000 you paid for the materials, and, if for the sake of example we ignore the cost of land, $50,000 you felt would allow you a comfortable standard of living for your labor. We will call this price the fair production value. Your account at the bank is increased by $100,000, giving you a balance of $50,000. The teacher's account is reduced by $100,000, giving her a negative balance of $100,000. So, blueprints and materials in hand, you begin construction. This is an important time in your life. You have worked hard planning your house, and you are glad to start building. You enjoy tying the reinforcement, pouring the concrete, and laying the bricks. Day by day, your home takes shape. The foundation, the first floor, the second floor, the roof. And after the house is completed, you invite the banker, the teacher, and the owner of the builder's supply outlet over and share the satisfaction your project gave you with those who helped. The home you built for the teacher is an outcome of your creativity, but it is also the outcome of their creativity. The above example lays out a simple economics of fulfillment system. In our economy, there is a bank and a banker, a teacher, the owner of the builder's supply outlet, and you, the builder. In the real world, our economics of fulfillment economy would be more complex, but the elements we included are sufficient to see how the economy works. The most striking aspect of our economics of fulfillment economy, of course, is the ability to run a negative bank account balance. Today's banks make money off of money. They borrow at a low interest rate and lend at a high interest rate. When a business takes out a loan, those who perform the work purchase the right to contribute to the material well-being of the human community from those who control the capital. The cost to get our hands dirty is a share of our work. Money represents a claim to wealth. In our model, the ability to run a negative bank account balance does not constitute a liability. Money does not represent a claim to wealth. In our model, the total of everyone's account balance is out, $0. Everyone is free to run a negative bank account balance. No one will track our credit history, and no one will harass us if we miss a payment, because there is no such thing as a payment. Neither is the ability to run a negative bank account balance, welfare, or a giveaway. It has nothing to do with taxes and socialistic wealth redistribution. We are not shuffling wealth from one person to another by virtue of law, regulation, and the police power of the state. In socialism, the state regulates economic activity. In capitalism, the capitalized elite regulate economic activity. In economics of fulfillment, the individual regulates his or her own economic activity. In our simple model, the ability to run a negative bank account balance is the mechanism through which this takes place. By virtue of this mechanism, we create the social and economic conditions that provide the freedom and opportunity for every individual to evolve to his or her highest state of being, and that by doing so, allow humanity to evolve to its highest state of being. If money doesn't represent a claim to wealth, why do we include money in our model? What is the meaning of our concept of fair production value? With this introduction, we complete session 6 in our course titled Economics of Fulfillment. How, in the real world, will our economic model work? Our course on the economics of tomorrow continues in session 7, Feasibility.